Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I dropped something. My name is Davey Likes Games, and welcome to my channel. I'm gonna be talking about random stuff here and there. This is kind of like a introduction part 2, but I am gonna have something I'm gonna talk about today. So, I've been a gamer for, I don't know, the past like 20 or something years. You know, I'm 20. How old am I? 29. I'm 29 years old, and I've been a gamer for a long time, right? So, this whole idea that gaming has gone to this like digital age is kind of baffling, because back in the day we had games on cartridge, you know, or we had games on disc or whatever, right? And that was just the way it was back then. That I mean, I kind of got a bunch of hand-me-downs and stuff over the years, but as I got older, I would get, you know, newer games and stuff. Like the PS2, I think my dad bought that for me and my sister when we were young, and we got some new games and stuff, and they were on DVD. You know, that was the another form of physical media that we would consume our games with. So like, I grew up on the Sega Genesis and the Nintendo 64 my cousin had. So we always had these games that just always seemed to work. You know, they never crapped out, they never broke, but that was just what we played on, right? And we're getting to the point now, and like, we transition into like PS3 and Xbox 360 era, right? Where they open up this like digital storefront sort of deal, right? Where you like, there's these downloadable titles and downloadable games that are essentially, you know, some of them, that's the only way to play them, right, is digitally. They were smaller releases. They weren't necessarily all of them like commercial releases, but when Xbox 360 came out with like the arcade stuff, it was kind of mind-blowing that you could just download the game. You know, and you know, PC had been doing it a long time, I guess, but for consoles, it was kind of new, right? And PC still had, like, physical media back then, too. But, yeah, basically, they just, it was kind of new, right? So we were always going towards this direction of, like, digital media, right? Where you didn't have to have a disc to pop in, or a cartridge to pop in to your console to play the game, but we got to the point where it was like an option, right? So like, if you wanted to play it digitally, you had the option to buy it, or if you just wanted to go old school, like a lot of old folks like me like to, you get a physical, right? Because you just, it's sometimes for some people it's nicer to like own the game rather than just like buy it on digital. Now, I'm kind of back and forth for me personally. Like, I love my digital library because, you know, it's nice. Like, sometimes there's a sale for a game for like $5. Like, I think I remember buying The Witcher 3 for like the definitive edition on Xbox for like $3, right? And the physical, I don't think ever got really that low, even used. Maybe it is, I don't know. But it's just options, right? You have options. And the fact that now Sony has turned around and said, oh, by 2028 we're gonna halt all physical media, which basically is saying that any new games that release for the PS5 going forward are gonna be digital only, and basically saying the PlayStation 6, which, you know, they're releasing, I guess maybe 2028 if I had to guess, is going to be an all-digital system, right, with no disk drive attached or something like that. I'm just assuming, I don't know, but that's what it looks like. I mean, they're clearly going the no, you know, physical media route right now, unless this video is null and void if they go back on it, so we'll find out. But right now, that's where they're sticking. And it's just kind of a shame, because I'm not going to get into the, like, all the metrics of what sells better. Digital always sells better. It doesn't matter if digital sells better, to me, personally. If you have a game on the digital storefront and the physical storefront, you have multiple people, like, having options to buy the game, right? And With digital, there's no tangible physical thing that you're holding in your hand. It's just a game that you download from their storefront. And the idea that any of these companies can go in and just like void your, you know, access to the game if they wanted to, mind you, then you would just not have the game anymore, which is kind of appalling because like I have all these old cartridges and, you know, PS2 games behind me, Xbox 360, and if I have the console to play them on, I can just play them. You know, it's not a big deal. But, you know, I mean, the digital storefronts for the 360 are gone, but I can still play the 360. But nowadays, like with the Xbox or whatever, if they completely cut off all servers on the Xbox, I'm pretty sure most games, even if you had the disc, will not play. It would just become a brick, which is unfortunate because I love the Xbox, you know? I bought most of my games through Xbox, Xbox 360 and, you know, Xbox One, Series X, whatever you want to call it. So I'm a huge proponent for Xbox because I liked that. I liked the storefront. I liked the layout. I liked playing with my friends. So that's just how I did it. But now we're going in the direction of, it seems like, you know, and granted, they didn't, like, the Xbox One and PS4 generation, right? They didn't run the games off the disc. You still had to download the game from the disc physically anyways to play the game. You couldn't just, it wasn't like, you know, PS2, Xbox 360, PS3, where the disc drive would run consistently to run, you know, to play off of the disc, right? So it didn't have that. And but there was still some value to be had with the physical media, even at this point, there's still some value, right? But it's just kind of getting away from us, you know? It's like these companies are trying to monopolize their own storefronts by saying, you know what, we don't want you to be able to go out and buy a physical, like, God of War, for example. We don't want you to buy God of War or Wolverine or whatever at Walmart or GameStop or whatever if there's a discount. Like, we want you to buy it just on the PlayStation storefront. And that doesn't leave any options, like, and you can't resell it if some emergency happened and you had to, like, sell off, like, your games, which, God forbid, if anybody, you know, has to sell their stuff when they don't want to, but you no longer have that option, which puts a bad taste in my mouth personally, because, like, there's like, the whole, like, gaming industry, or at least, like, the gamers, like, runs off of, like, used stuff, at least if you're classic game collecting. So, like, collecting the physical media is literally part of, like, you know, collecting as gamers, right? So if you start taking that option away, then I mean, I don't know, like, you just won't have that kind of, you know, you won't have people coming together and going to, like, you know, different like gaming conventions to sell games. Like, it's just, there's something about it, right? But, you know, they're completely just taking that away, thinking, oh, that's just where the industry is going. No, it's, you are greedy and you don't want people to have options. You want them to buy them from your storefront so you get more money. That's the only reason. It's all about money. It's nothing about, like, oh, this is where the industry's going, this is what we have to do. You don't have to do that. Like, Nintendo's doing just fine with their cartridges. Like, I'm pretty sure most first-party Nintendo games have the games on the cartridges and they run off the cartridges. Now, are they expensive? Yeah, the cartridges are expensive, at least, especially for the Switch 2, right? That's why you see a lot of Switch 2 game key cards, because that it basically just has, it's just like the discs with Xbox One, PS4, PS5, where you pop the disc in, it has to go for a server through the online connection and then download the game. It's a license to play the game, essentially, right? But if you get, like, Donkey Kong Bonanza, if you get Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild on the Switch or Switch 2, the game is just on the cartridge. You play it offline. There's no like you have more faith that the game can't be taken away from you, right? You have more, like, you just have more faith that the your games are your games, right? And that no matter what they would do, they can't take it away from you, right? So it's just, as of right now, we're kind of getting to the point where it's, you know, it's getting bad, right? Like, these companies are getting too greedy, specifically Sony at this point in time. There's a lot more I could go into in complaints about, you know, video games as a whole, but as of right now, the no physical media is just kind of rough. And I get it. It's like, oh, we're going to a digital age. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It 100% matters, okay? 100% matters that they're taking away. And see, you can say, oh, well, PC, right, is you still download games. Okay, well, there's multiple store fronts and marketplaces on PC. You have Steam, you have Epic Games, you got GOG, right? And all of them offer commercial games, okay? But there's different sales for different websites and stuff like that. So you wouldn't get that if Sony is just gonna say, you know what, no physical, we're just gonna keep you digital, and that's the only way you can buy. It's just you're taking away an option for one, and you're really stirring the pot in the sense of that some gamers probably just do physical. It may not be a lot, but it doesn't matter if it's a lot, right? Like, I go back and forth, right? So I buy physical and or digital. It depends on what I feel. The only reason I haven't been majority physical is because I don't have room in my house for all the physical media, but some people might, right? And some people do. They want to hold on to it, and I try to hold on to a lot of the older stuff that I have, but it's up to the consumer. And if the consumer wants to hoard stacks and stacks of physical games, they still want those games to work and function and have the console with those games. It's just, you know, it's game preservation, it's collectors, whatever you want to call it. Like, I mean, that's just the moral of the story, really, is you take away the option, you're literally spitting in the face of millions of people that buy physical games, right? It doesn't matter if you bought if someone bought one physical game, that's still somebody that bought a physical game, you know? But yeah, I'm not gonna throw numbers and all that kind of stuff around. I'm just saying my piece, okay? Just saying my piece. And for my followers, my stream, my viewers on my streams, and anybody new, thank you for watching and subscribing to my new channel. I hope I will upload more videos. I don't know necessarily what I'm gonna talk about on a regular basis, but it's just gonna be whatever I feel like. And if you guys want me to talk about something, let me know down in the comments below or in my Discord. I'll put the Discord link in the description below as well of this video. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope it wasn't too it wasn't too crazy, but yeah, I'm signing off, y'all. Peace out.